Nathan Fielder, is he a weirdo genius?
Yes.
How did you feel about the rehearsal?
I thought it was pretty wild. They're clearly working with a slightly larger budget
Yeah, I would say
than
so.
the Comedy Central era.
Especially in the beginning of Nathan For You, because it's like basically nothing. It's like a guy holding a camera.
Now they're building sets to do absolutely crazy shit.
Renting houses, paying for child actors around the clock, or as much as around the clock as they can.
The links that this show is going to we should probably say what the show is for anybody who hasn't seen a Nathan For You or the Rehearsal episode at all.
It's like easy to explain, but also hard to explain.
He creates situations to enhance your lifestyle or the quality of your life, essentially, in really roundabout ways.
Yes. And this specifically, he's putting you in situations to practice all the possibilities of how something will go in real life.
And he gives you a flow chart. It's almost like you're getting a spam phone call.
At the end of episode 1, where he rehearsed what he was going to say to that guy, and then he like when the real situation came up because of how the rehearsal went, he backed out. That was legit. That was legitimately hilarious. I was laughing for so long. But yeah, I think episode 1 was definitely better than 2. But 2 was sort of a lead-in to the at least 3. Sort of a cliffhanger at the end of 2. Not a cliffhanger, but the way it ends, you're like, okay, you're either like 100% on board, or you're like, I don't know. I'm 100% on board.
I'm definitely going to watch the next episode. I don't know how much I'm going to care about the future story of this Jesus freak woman.
Yeah, I'm legitimately excited for the episode Friday, though.
Yeah, I'm not interested in her life at all. I'm interested in seeing more things like this happen. But I hope we're not going to get like an entire season of Nathan living with this weird lady.
But I do think the interactions that have happened because of her weirdness have been properly awkward and entertaining. It loves to stay in the awkward moments, and I love it for that. It never gets uncomfortable with how long it remains there, but as a viewer, just kind of funny, but it does linger there for a while sometimes. And though I love those moments, man. They're so great. Like you said, it would be a bummer if the whole season was that. But
yeah, I think episode 1 was to get you like, oh, you like Nathan For You? Like, here you go. Here's like a contained episode. And episode 2 was like, oh fuck, they're doing what?
It is ratcheted up for sure, because it involves like a woman pretending to be a mother with like babies that aren't hers.
Yeah,
which is just insane.
It is.
I was like, they're not going to use real kids. They do.
Yeah,
for the most part.
It is the setup they have for this stuff is absolutely crazy. The
first one too, where he built the replica of the bar, like that was nuts. Yes. And then he took it with him.
I think he has this budget, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? What am I going to do with this ridiculous budget HBO gave me? And decided to just go off with it, because it reminded me of when Conan was running the Tonight Show and was getting canceled as the Tonight Show host with like an end date, and he's like, I'm just going to do expensive shit.
Yeah.
So like he rented a Bugatti and like filled it with like Skittles while Satisfaction, like the original studio recording of Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, is playing. And he's like, this bit cost $700,000 NBC's money.
Yeah, they probably gave him sort of quote too much money to do a show like this.
Yeah.
And he's all right, I'll bring a set literally across country.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah, just because so I can have a drink at the bar sometimes
as a bit, you know. Yeah. But I love those bits, man. They're so funny. Yeah. But they're like very subtle, but also great. The guy he hired to make baby sounds, that was very funny, right?
That was super funny.
Is that real? Like he's a normal dude, or do you think that's like a plant? Shit like that, I wonder about. Even the Jesus freaky lady, I look at people like that, and I'm like, is she a real person? It's like, who signs up for this, man?
It's tough to tell like what's really real and what's not with him, which I guess is part of the mystique of the show. I think some things may be more staged than they appear to be. And I was trying to have fun picking out what I think that might have been. I didn't think the sound effect guy was that, but maybe he was.
It's very hard to tell though, right? That's the thing. I don't think anybody really is, but maybe they are. Like I said, they seem like real people. And then you see into their lives, like the dude when he went to his apartment to get the stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, does this guy have a banana peel on the floor of his car? That's a huge red flag for me. And then bong rips for Jesus.
The bong, yeah.
Oh my God. He kept pointing out the numbers. I was like, shut the up about numbers, dude.
And then finally his roommate was like, shut the fuck up about numbers, dude.
But then sometimes stuff like that, it just seems like it's too weird to have been written, which I think it is. I think it's just people looking for something and being weirdos about it, which leads me to my next point, which is this show, while being funny, has a deep sadness to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That hasn't really bubbled up to the surface yet, but it's definitely there, especially towards the end of episode 2. Almost the entirety of this whole show, like everyone's just like really awkward.
Yeah.
They're just awkward people. Like that's probably why they want to rehearse aspects of their life.
Right.
Because shit just hasn't gone well for them because of how they handle social situations.
Oh, yeah, like the guy that was so worried about his degree, he was so freaked out about that. And his friend was just like,
friend that he wanted to tell, she was so awkward.
Yeah. And she was seemed like a nightmare of like, I wouldn't want to hang out with her.
Yeah, she kind of did.
Maybe it's possible she's just very nice and is excited to chat people up, but like,
yeah.
Oof, the baby lady was also kind of a nightmare. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, indeed. That's what I'm saying. Like these people are interesting. It doesn't feel exploitative either though, which yet to me, which is kind of important. Like, do you feel like the first guy was exploited?
No, not really. But now that we're talking about it and thinking about it, I'm like, is this dinner for schmucks?
No, because he's never making fun of them.
He's not making fun of them. No.
He's helping them in his weird ways.
Yes.
Like if the dude in the first one doesn't know, he helped him coached him for the answers for real, and then he finds out by watching. Maybe he reacts like the rehearsal did, but
like he points at the woman's face and says her name. I mean, she ends up on the show, but like he points at her face, says her name, outs her blog, like all these things. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I'm not making any kind of judgment on that, but I'm like, just as we're talking about it, I'm like, these are kind of like slightly weird people in their own way. Sort
of social outcasts.
Yeah.
Kind of. We're having a spotlight put on them. Maybe that they didn't realize how big it was going to be.
Yeah, because like when he asked the guy in the first episode, he's like, "Oh, so you're a big TV buff?" And it's like, have you seen my show? And he's like, "No."
Yeah.
Like so, that's not good. Like if I signed up for a show, like if I signed up for the Craigslist ad, right?
And then I show up, Craigslist ad too, yeah. Which
and then I show up and it's Nathan Fielder. I'm gonna be like, like I'm going to be guarded, which I'm sure he runs into people like that, and he's just like, yeah, but this episode's not going to work.
Yeah. So in that sense, then, do you feel like if it does continue beyond the first season, do you think it runs into like a Borat-esque problem where like no one wants to do it because everyone knows what it's about?
It's possible. I guess we're going to see how the season shakes out. But
true. If it's that one story, like you were saying, that'd be kind of meh. But yeah, I would recommend this. Like I said, it's very funny. I think the first episode's better than the second. But yeah, we'll probably revisit this in August. I'm assuming you'd recommend this as well.
I've never not liked a season of Nathan For You, and this is still certainly in that wheelhouse. So yes.